Many people see wealth as divine gift and poverty as divine punishment. But in order to answer this question properly, we need to understand what does wealth mean to a person. Let me explain. Each and every single one of us have an image in our mind, a picture of what we do once we get wealth. This image justifies for us all of the efforts that we put in chasing after wealth. Because wealth is not a means in of itself. It is not sought for what it is itself. It is sought as a means to other things. But that leads us to a far greater question. What exactly are we chasing after? For most people, wealth is a means to a beautiful house, a luxurious life, a beautiful wife, some parties, maybe even some drugs. And so now that we've understood what wealth represents for most people, we must ask the question, what does divine punishment or divine wrath have to do with wealth? Now, in order to answer this question, we must first define our terms. What does divine favor and divine punishment even mean? In the most basic Islamic definitions, divine favor means that God guides human beings to himself and removes all of the barriers that are in the path to God so that a person reaches his Lord. And divine punishment, on the other hand, is the opposite of this. It is God letting people become misguided and allowing them to manifest and build upon traits that form barriers between themselves and their Lord. This is what is referred to in Islamic terminology as sealing of the hearts. So then, does wealth always mean divine favor? And does poverty always mean divine punishment? There's no one answer to this question, but we can think about it in this way. If the pursuit of wealth is sought as a means to a hedonistic life, to a materialistic life, to a life filled of sin and away from God, then the removal of wealth or not allowing a person to acquire wealth is actually a form of divine mercy rather than divine punishment. So you have to search inside of yourself and be brutally honest with yourself and ask yourself, what exactly is it that I seek from wealth? If the answer to that question is that I seek women, I seek luxurious houses, I seek a materialistic life, I seek a hedonistic life, then God not giving you wealth is actually a divine favor to you. Because let us be honest with ourselves, most of us, if we were to have wealth, we would indulge in all of these aforementioned things. And hence, how can then the absence of wealth constitute divine punishment? And how can the presence of wealth then constitute divine favor? It actually cannot. Because for most of us, the desire for wealth comes from a place of indulgence, from a place of ego, from the basic human desires. And so you have to be very honest with yourself. You have to ask what your exact intentions are. Because wealth and poverty in of themselves do not have any connotation of goodness or evilness. If used properly, wealth is good. If misused, poverty is evil. So it all depends upon your intentions and what you want from either wealth or what do you seek in poverty. Now, if you are more interested in Islam and materialism in general, and if you want to do a more deep dive into the subject, I've done a video on Islam and materialism in which we go into the Quran, we go into the Hadith corpus and go into the opinions of the scholars in regards to this matter and do a very deep dive into Islam's treatment and engagement with materialism. But until then, it's all for today. And I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.